Hey everybody, it's John Pollock along with John Ramdeen and Robin Black. The UFC returns to Melbourne, Australia this coming weekend, and people recall their last time in Melbourne. It was a historic event with Holly Holm defeating Ronda Rousey at Etihad Stadium. This time they're coming back. It's headlined by Derek Brunson and Robert Whittaker. I think really hurt by the fact you lost Luke Rockhold and Jacare in their main event rematch. Because this card, as you guys go down, this is not a deep card. Let's be honest. There's a lot of prospects on this show, and this is one that I think going into it, it's going to be interesting to see how the Melbourne market as well responds to this card, John, because they lost a big main event here.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. Luke Rockhold and Jacare, that's the reason people were tuning into this fight card. You said it's not deep. Seo Hee Ham, deep veteran, is on this card, and she has an opportunity to make her mark, just like a lot of the fighters. There's so many unknown fighters on this fight card, and this is an opportunity for them to say, okay, people aren't focused on this fight card. They're focused on Derek Brunson and his opponent Whittaker, so we have an opportunity to shine. Will they take the ball and run with it?
Yeah, I mean, when a card like this just doesn't, you're somebody who goes to the buffet of entertainment. Sometimes you like movies, and sometimes you like music, and sometimes you like video games, and sometimes you like fighting. This isn't your card, you know? And if you're one of those fight obsessives, and this is your card, because every card is your card, look at it from the perspective of these prospects. You know, you're going over all the way to Australia. This is how tough it is now if you're fighter number 300 on the roster. You got to go over to Australia and face something tough. I mean, Herrera, this is a former RFA veteran. They're like, yeah, you got Ben Wynn, who's a legitimate lighter weight fighter. You got to fight him, and you got to do it half a globe away. And this is what you got. This is how you got to prove yourself these days in the UFC.
If there's one guy on this card who I think you can maybe attach that prospect label to, but he's right on the ascent to me of emerging from just simply being a prospect, that's Jake Matthews. He's now second from the top on this card because of the loss of the main event. This is someone that I feel for any part of the world that you truly want to make a big part of your kind of global footprint that the UFC wants, you want to have that native star, and Jake Matthews is young enough. You've seen a very diverse skill set from him. He, to me, is somebody that I'm very curious to see where he is 2 or 3 years from now, because he's certainly emerging as somebody to keep your eyes on that we've now gotten to see quite a number of times in the UFC.
And that's what it comes down to, is taking your time. This isn't somebody you want to rush. He's only 22 years of age, but you know, that's a lot of pressure. And what we know about the UFC is just because you fight in the UFC, not everybody's at that same level. We have BJ Penn taking on Yair Rodriguez. Now, Rodriguez, who knows? He could come out and stop BJ Penn, but for a lot of people that have followed the fight game, I think we're all anticipating that BJ Penn's going to smoke Yair Rodriguez. And it just comes down to the same thing with Jake Matthews. You have to have the right opponent for this guy, because when you have a veteran like Gegard Mousasi and Thiago Santos, things aren't even. So you don't want to shake his confidence. You want to give him the right fights, because if you're trying to build a star in Australia, you can't do it by pushing them into the deep end of the pool.
But you know what? Eventually you get into that deep end, and when you are in there, that's when we find out if you really are real prospects. And Jake Matthews has been there. He's been beat up. He's lost rounds and been hurt badly in fights and come back to win. You know, you take Paige Van Zandt, Jake Matthews, both blonde, both cute, but both have been pushed to a limit where you've seen how deep they can dig. You've seen how much they can draw out of themselves. If you don't have that, we can pretend all we want. We can take photos of the fighter. We can put them against low-level opponents. We can see how well they speak and how awesome they are on the mic and all that BS. But if they can't handle the deep pressure and that intensity that's inevitably going to come, it's all irrelevant. And Jake Matthews has shown he can.
And a quality opponent in Andrew Holbrook that he's going to be taking on the main card. Last thing, Jonathan Muñoz is also going to be fighting on this card in particular. Well, what do you see in Jonathan Muñoz? Because you, John, you followed his career quite a lot.
Yeah, actually coming from the Quebec scene, TriStar guy. He's dedicated to the sport. There's no drinking, there's no drugs. The goal is get to the top.
No girls.
Of that. No.
Okay, there's probably girls.
I'm sure there's probably girls. But he fought in Ottawa unsuccessfully. Now he has an opportunity here. Unfortunately, he's flying to the other side of the world. He's got to win. That's what it comes down to. He has to win. If it's ugly, you got to win ugly. If he can make it look nice and get a first round or second round stoppage victory, great. focus on the W.
But just think about that now. If you're one of the 5,000 fighters out there that are 5-0, and there are thousands now of amazing fighters that have 5 and 6 and 7 wins and no or 1 losses. When you have a prospect in a region, you think, oh man, this guy's almost in the UFC. There are dozens and dozens and dozens at that level. When you're gonna get that shot, like Joe Munier has got, you come in on a couple weeks' notice against a tough opponent who has a style that's different than you've faced. And you lose, and then you fly literally to the other end of the globe to go and take on another tough opponent. This is what it is to be a prospect in the UFC. It's absolutely sink or swim now.
And I think another thing, just coming off of this past weekend, that we've seen kind of the first quarter of 2017, they've announced the shows, and it looks like they're going to run the same amount of shows as this year, but I'm curious if we are going to see cuts where you see shorter cards. Like we looked 12 hours like this past weekend. It's tougher for your Muniers of the world to get a lot of attention when you're inundated with 13 fight cards, such as most weekends that we get. If you see the same number of shows, less fights, and that you are going to be able to pay more attention to these prospects rather than it's a blur by Monday of what happened on Fight Pass in Belfast.
Yeah, and not only that, you have Bellator, you have Glory, you have Legacy, you have RFA, and all these other MMA promotions and fight organizations from all over the world that are also spitting out talent that you have to keep your eye on. So it's...
And if you're these guys, you also are not just competing with that, you're competing with Westworld and the biggest movie in the world and the biggest video game and politics. I mean, people are fighting for attention in whatever it is you do.
That wraps it up for us. They hit Melbourne this coming Saturday, headlined by Derek Brunson and Robert Whitaker.